Okay, so this is a screen recording of how to make an Illuminate scan sheet for the weekly assessments. First thing, you have to sign into your Illuminate. When you sign into Illuminate, go to Assessments, Create New Assessment, and go straight to Manual Hybrid Assessment. Input how many questions you have. For example, if you have 15 questions, click on OK. Title your paper. Click on more options. Choose the subject, mathematics, your grade level, the performance band. I will show you guys a little bit what the performance band should be. For now, you can leave it like that. Go ahead and click Save. When you go to this page, it is very important that you start looking for the standards. So the first thing I would do is go to where it says none. Choose mathematics, grade level, click on search. So let's say I'm doing NBT. I'll click on the little plus sign for NBT, plus sign again. Now it shows me which ones I want. Let's say the test is going to be on NBT 1 and NBT 3. So I'll click on that, click on this one. Let's just choose one more. Let's go to measurement and data. Click on the plus sign again. Let's say I'm doing MD2. Click on where it says link selected standards. When you have that, you should be ready. Go back to where it says setup, answer key. And now when you are going to link the standard to a question, let's say question number 1 is MBT 1, question number 2 is MBT 3, and question number 3 is MD, I don't know which one I chose, I believe it was 3 or 2. Let's go and find out. Now you could link the question, so let's see again. Number 1 is going to be MBT 1, number 2 might be 3, number 3 might be MD 2, number 4 might be MBT 1, 5 MBT 1, and so on. So every question is going to be linked to a standard. Then you click on Save. Now you will see that every single question is linked to a standard. For the most part, some questions are just going to be 1 point. This is where you type in the correct answer. So if it's multiple choice and the answer is A, that would be the answer for number 1, B for number 2. This one might be A. This is C, D. This one might be A, and so on. Now, let's say one of the questions has multiple responses, and they're on the same concept. So what you want to do is assign 1 point per answer that they get right. So you would go to Advanced, go here. Let's say A is going to be, if they choose A, that's one of the correct answers. And let's say C is another correct answer. So what you do is you put in A equals 1 point, comma. If they choose C, that would be another point, comma. And let's say they choose both. You want to go ahead and assign 2 points if they choose both. So you say A, C, 2 points. And you continue with the answers. Let me just go all the way down. Okay, and then you go ahead and save and go to Sheet Designer. If you don't want these many multiple choices for the students or bubbles, what you do is you go to where it says change the number of responses. Let's say you just wanted to go all the way to D. Now you have these here. Now another thing is that when you go to, let's say you have a constructive response or a fill-in response, it's either you got it right or you got it wrong. So what you could do in that case is just leave it as A and B. A could be 0 points, B could be 1 point. So if you add, let's say 3 plus 2, and they were supposed to fill in 5, well, if they get 5, you bubble in B for 1 point. If they get something that's not the correct answer, you bubble in A, and that would be the 0 points. That's either true, they got it correct, or B, they got it wrong. So that's some suggestion or an idea that you guys could do. When you're done with that, you go ahead and apply. You could go back to setup. For performance bands, this is where you're going to go ahead and add new performance band. So we're going to use dark green, light green, yellow, and red. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to put this one as 100.1. This one's going to be 75% or 75. This is going to be 50. This is going to be exceeding standard. This is going to be meeting standard. This one's going to be approaching standard. And does not meet standard. There you go. So you're going to save, name it. So I named mine ISEF PS for performance set. Just go ahead and name it anything that you want, because you're going to just be using it over and over to assign points, or so you can know the rubric. Excuse me. So let's say I put sample performance band. Okay, I save it. Now what I do, I could go back. Let's see. So this is the one that I use right here. So I could just go back and assign this one to any of the assessments that I created. But let me go back to the test. So what you guys saw right now, if you want to go back to the test, you go to assessment, list assessments, and this is the newer version where you could find the most recently opened assessment or created on the top, or you could go back to the old version and you'll have this here too. So I go to sample sheet. That was the test that I was creating. For now, I don't need to do anything, so dismiss. I go back to setup. I could either do performance band, or I could go to information. Let me just show you right quick. Here on where it says assessment, right here you see how it says performance band set. What I could do is I could say sample performance band. I want it to be attached or linked to this assessment. I save. Okay. Or I could do option number 2. Go straight to performance bands. You see how overall percent correct should be sample B. Let's say this standard I also want it to be linked to the performance band. So what I do is I click here. I choose the performance band. I go ahead and either click this one. It'll check off every single box, or I could go one by one and just say I want it to be linked to all these. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply it to these because the overall percent already has it. I will apply, and now you see how this changed. Every single one is linked to the performance band that I created. Okay, now it's done. So now I could go to administration, print answer sheets. Click on teacher. I could say Briseño. Okay. And when I open it, it's going to have her student's name and the bubble sheets or the option bubbles. Okay, let's say I want my bubbles to be a little bit bigger. Before I go ahead and generate, I go and click on advanced options and I choose large bubbles. Now I could go ahead and click on generate. And when this is ready, let's see if it's done. The bubbles just, they're slightly bigger. Okay, and that's a video on how to create your answer sheets for quizzes that we're going to start giving out to kids on Fridays, or weekly quizzes. They should be about, maybe 4 or 6 questions. You could either do it per standard or by standard. It just depends on how comfortable you are with making these sheets. If you want to go ahead and scan the sheet or your test on the copy machine and then send it here, the way that you download it is, let's see, where it says materials, and you upload here. So let's say I want to go ahead and do oh, here are some assessments. Let's say I want to attach this assessment. Now when I click on it, I should be able to open it. See? Okay. Another thing is to share it. You have to share it with me. So you go to share. Let's see, can view and download, yes. Can administer, yes. And can edit, yes. So share with user. And the user, you type in my name. And can view, download, can administer, and can edit. Make sure those are all clicked in. You could share with your grade level as well, so they could find that. You could click on 3rd grade. You could type in, let's say, Mr. Short, Ms. Pepper, Ms. Nunez. Okay, and then click on share. Okay, should be fine. Okay, new permissions were successfully added to this assignment. Great. So let's see, answer key. If you want to go back to answer key, you could. Versions, if you want to, create a different version of it, that's fine. Standards, this is where you put the standards in. Performance band, the sheet designer, that's where you assign like letter A, B, C, or D. Let's see, if I want to print answer sheets for my grade level or for myself, I go to where it says administration, print answer sheets, and type in teacher. Generate. And there you go. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys out. Let's try to make this a habit so that we could start keeping track of data, and so we can see if our students progress throughout the year. Thank you guys.